Good evening and welcome to the Witching Hour with Anne Leibowitz and me, Berghold Heffernan.
Hi, welcome to So this video is going to be all about costs and pricing of the farm. So let's get straight into it.
Well, this is the first time we've actually sat down and spoken to a camera. Which is quite weird for us, and we're not huge fans of it.
No.
Not doing it. But we were going to walk the dogs and do it whilst we walk the dogs.
But it's pissing it down with rain.
Pissing it down.
If any of you
knock
that tripod over, I will knock you outside. Right, so let's get straight into it.
Go on.
So the farm was on the market for 130,000 euros.
Was it really?
Oh my god, this was only a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it's been a long year.
Mm-hmm. So, what did we buy?
A house with a farm attached. 8,362 square metres.
So just under a hectare of land.
Just under a hectare. Total of 258 square metres of buildings.
Which is 3 main buildings.
Two small sheds.
The goat shed and then the really wet shed.
Does that count as a building?
No, that's why they're cast as two small sheds.
They're fun. Two ruins? Oh yes, the ruin on the hill. God, I mean that's barely a ruin. It's just some bricks in a square.
Still a ruin.
1 water tank with a spring, 2 wells, 4 water mines. You also forgot to put on here the fact that something like 60-70% of the land is arable. Yeah. So it's not just like forest and bits and pieces. It is land that has been worked in living memory. So it is farmy land.
So everything actually happened quite quickly when I looked at the dates.
Really?
So we had requested to view the property on the 24th of January 2023. We received a reply from the estate agent the next day on the 25th of January 2023. And we set up a viewing the following week on a Monday on the 30th of January.
Are you sure that's not just to do with the fact we had a very efficient Dutch estate agent?
Yeah, she was very, very good. Literally 3-4 days in between that we had a couple of other viewings. And then we put in an offer literally 3 days after.
God, we did do that quite quick. It felt like ages.
Because we were living in the van with nothing to do.
Yeah, that's fair.
We put in an offer 3 days after we viewed the house on the 2nd of February 2023, and we put in the offer at 125,000 euros.
We probably could have got it for a bit less.
We probably could have.
But we loved it, so.
But it was our first choice, so we were happy. We were happy with the price.
Yeah, for what it was, it did not seem insane.
We thought it was worth that price.
I should probably say that it's probably now, if you look at the changes in the immediate price of the market, it's probably now 150. Because everything around here has gone up hugely.
Our offer was accepted by the owners the day after we put in an offer on the 3rd of February 2023 at 125,000 euros. We then paid the deposit of 10%, which was 12,500 euros. About 3 weeks after that, on the 28th of March.
Which we should say the important thing is that obviously if you fail to you pull out, they keep the deposit. But here, which I don't know whether it's the same in England, because it sure as hell wasn't when I bought a house in England, if they fail to complete, they owe you the deposit and then the deposit again for the inconvenience.
And also, if everything would have fallen through, we would have also owed money to the lawyer.
Oh yeah, anyway. Yeah.
It was like $1,000 or something if things didn't go through.
He was nice though.
He was brilliant. Highly recommend our lawyer and our estate agent.
Yeah.
I think because of them, everything went through in the space of 3 months.
Yeah, no, they were competent.
They were so competent. So, yeah, paid the deposit on the 28th of March 2023. We picked up the keys the day after paying the deposit on the 29th of March, which isn't very usual.
No, but we asked. Basically, because the people who live here who owned it didn't live here. And it was just coming into March, so everything was starting to it was quite nice weather.
Spring was kicking in and we felt like we wanted to start cleaning and doing some land stuff.
So we asked them if we could just have the keys and move in advance, basically. And they agreed, which was brave of them, to be honest, because round here,
I don't think many people would have said, yeah, sure,
would have said,
go
yeah,
ahead.
sure, go ahead. But they did.
So that was the 29th
of
of March 2023, and then we signed the final contracts and the deeds on the 2nd of May 2023. So literally 3 months of us putting an offer to us signing the final deed. Which is very quick for Portugal. I think we got quite lucky.
That's pretty quick for everywhere.
But then we also did keep pushing everyone. Like, we had asked to be in contact with the owners. We consistently kept emailing and speaking with our lawyer and with the estate agent.
And we were living in a van, so we had nothing else to do.
Chase everyone.
But chase everyone. We had no other distractions apart from getting into the damn house.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that was the 2nd of May. And then on the 5th of May, we had our electricity turned on.
You've got to put... Oh, this will be the first time you can do it. You can watch the video where that happened up here.
5 days after that, on the 10th of May, we had our water turned on. So we lived without electricity and without water for
3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
It wasn't actually as bad as it were.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it wasn't, because beginning of spring last year was a lot better
Weather-wise
than spring this year.
Spring this year, it would have killed you.
We would have probably died.
Yeah.
We would have had to just keep living in the van and not move into the actual house.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, yeah, this year was brutal, mate.
Yeah, this year's been bad weather for that sort of thing.
Now, let's talk about legal fees. We were introduced to our lawyer through David. Who was David? Was that someone that you knew previously?
David?
It was someone that we had met in Tamar or somewhere for a drink, and then he gave us the contacts for Lewis.
David?
He introduced us to Superbox Stout. Was that his name, David?
In Tamar.
Have you completely blanked that from your tiny brain?
I don't remember. Was this someone we just bumped into in Tamar?
No, we had scheduled to meet him.
Oh, yeah, he's... Oh, God, yes, of course. Fuck, I should drop him a message. See how he is. Yeah, no, friend of a friend. Who runs a really, really nice, estranjero-centred estate agency in Tamar, and he put us onto the law. I should send him a message and see how he is.
Yeah, he introduced us to the lawyer, who was fantastic. Highly recommend.
God, remind me after the video. I'll send him a message. He was really nice.
His name was David, right?
Oh, I swear it was David. Let me check.
So the legal fees were €1,500 plus VAT at 23%, and that fee included all required services until the final registrations, such as checking of all documents, searching for debts and mortgages, verbal translation of the deed into English. That is him.
Okay, yes.
Verbal translation of the deed into English just before signing, and final registrations. In addition to that, at no extra charge, they included drafting of the promissory contract in Portuguese and English, and preparing a power of attorney if we couldn't attend personally, which wasn't required because we did attend personally. Extra fees. Now, these are all fees related to the actual purchase of the house. So all of these fees were paid on the signing of the final deed on the 2nd of May at the notary office. To whom? To the council?
The camera.
To the camera.
Like Tabua camera or something, because
it was the closest one to where the estate agent was.
Yeah, but it's weird, because surely it should have been to Oliveira Council, but I don't really understand. Maybe it was vicariously through. Oh, no. So it's not to the camera, it's to the government in general.
So any notary office.
Any notary office will do it.
We did it in Tabua because that's closer to Helena.
Well, yeah, because considering I just met the mayor yesterday, I'm asking for my money back.
Right, so those fees were transfer tax, 558... Was that her tail that just moved? No, she just
slipped.
Transfer tax, €558.72. Stamp duty of €1,000.
Which, if you live in the UK, that was €1,000 on 125,000.
Yeah.
That is very, very good.
Registration costs, which was €225, and then travelling costs for our lawyer to the place of signing, which we did have to include because he did drive drive up from Lisbon, which was €350.
Which I felt was a bit steep, but he was very good. So.
It wasn't until 7 months after signing the final deed that the lawyer sent us an email saying, you can pay me now.
Yeah, no, he didn't even send us an email saying you can pay me now. He's like, oh shit, I forgot, here's your invoice. We were like, cheers man.
So we paid him November 2023, which was a total of €2,195. We thought it was going to be closer to 4,000. So 2,100 for a lawyer to do everything that he did.
I think if we even assuming he wouldn't actually have to come up and do things, but if we do need a lawyer again for other bits, we may.
Oh yeah, 100%. It was great. Other fees that we had to pay for. So if you're not married, you have to pay an extra €60 for a document to say that you're not married.
Yeah. Because we wanted to own it together, not just one of us own it.
Yeah, you'd save a bit of money if you're legally married.
Yeah, okay, calm down. Jesus.
In terms of mortgages, so we did speak to our local Portuguese bank here about a mortgage for the farm.
We spoke to a few.
More or less, this is sort of what the information is.
You can get mortgages on agricultural land, as in on the sort of empty forest, etc. It appears to be nearly impossible, but they do exist.
I think it's for those with Portuguese citizenship, not for foreigners.
A, maybe not foreigners, but B, also for if you have a company, you might do better with that.
But as far as we know, it's no loans on agricultural land.
As far as we know. No loans on any building without a habitation licence. And a habitation licence or an exemption. Those are both relevant. So either a pre-1951 exemption, which is a whole thing that if you want to go look into the exemption rules and things like that, which is where part of our house is exempt and the whole thing.
2 of the buildings are exempt.
Yeah. So if you don't have a habitation licence, then you will not be able to get a mortgage on it, as far as we can tell. Millennium mortgage would only have been €50,000 with a deposit of 10%. We would end up paying it back at interest of close to €250,000 over 20 years.
You said all that really, really quickly.
Right. So the mortgages are not large. From Millennium, which is the only bank we went to, there were other options, etc. The other one that you want to watch for in Portugal is, as far as I can tell, the mortgages did not appear to be fixed rate. I didn't see any fixed rate mortgages. And you don't want to not have a fixed rate mortgage because there's a whole load of issues potentially there. It was not a lot that they would have given us, and it would have cost a substantial amount of money to get it back.
Yeah, we would have been able to get a mortgage basically for half of the value of the property, which just made 0 sense.
0 sense at that point, yeah.
And then paying back 3 times the amount over 20 years made even less sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very difficult, I think, for foreigners if you want to get a mortgage here, especially for rustic.
Yeah, if you're doing a flat in Lisbon,
then probably easier.
I think also the fact is that especially with the way our land looks, like I think you'd have, I don't want to say trouble reselling it, but definitely it wouldn't be what I consider a liquid asset for a bank.
Yeah. So all in all, the total cost of what we paid for the farm is €129,038, which is an extra €4,000 on top of what we actually paid for the house.
It's bad.
Which compared to England is actually pretty good.
Well, compared to the fact our flat, which is the size of this living room in London, is now rating at £310,000 value. Yeah. Oh, I checked the other day. It's insane.
And that concludes today's video. We hope this was useful.
And if you'd like to see more videos talking about things in Portugal in this format, please comment below.
Like.
Share.
Comment.
Subscribe.
Ciao, ciao.
Subscribe to our Patreon. We really should do that at some point.
Sponsor us for a tractor.
A tractor.
Everybody keeps commenting about the fact that you need a tractor.
Well, they're perfectly welcome to buy me one. Have you seen how much they are? It's like $4,000.
Somebody also commented, considering what the state of you with a roofing sheet, God knows what would happen with a tractor.
Yeah, that's fair.
Very true. You're just a walking liability.
This from you, Jesus. At least I never dislocated my shoulder on a set of stairs.
Rude. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.